Hello, I'd like to follow up the course preparation guide with a brief video taking all of you through what a fully prepped Blackboard site might look like. So I want to cover a few areas real quickly, and these are areas that are important. Students see them first, and they very often have really easily fixed errors or oversights that can be fixed. And if you'll take the few minutes to kind of let me show you kind of what this looks like, you may see some items that you can quickly check in your course that are easy fixes, but with a high payoff as far as for your students is concerned. So we'll start with the landing page, which of course should be the announcements area, and you'll see this class has an announcement posted for students to see when they come in, and some of them will as early as Saturday, and you'll probably get, if you've got a class of 30, you'll probably have 10 or so that will get into the class early. And so with an announcement posted, they know that you are there, the class is ready, and it gives them some instruction for what they can do this Saturday and Sunday prior to Monday. You don't want to disenfranchise or disappoint students that are already, eager to begin. And you can also tell them in this announcement that, hey, you can email me, but class starts Monday. So a good announcement, letting them know, welcoming them, and letting them know what they can get started on. So let's move into the course home area, which is where your syllabus and course guide should be located. And so you'll see that both the course syllabus and the guide have been updated for spring. There's no old dates on there. That never looks good. And we've got our mandatory announcements included here and my other links. And so what's important in the course home area is, of course, to make sure your documents are updated and accurate, and also to make sure to delete any replicated items. There's usually replicated items in the course home area and the My Instructor area. So make sure you find those and delete them. Real quick fix. So in the Meet Your Instructor area, again, there's no duplicates of any of these items. And in the My Instructor area, you will have duplications of Your Instructor profile placeholder and this send an email link to your instructor. You will have duplications of those. So please visit this area. Make sure your introduction, or however you use this instructor area with your profile, is updated and looks good, and make sure there's no extra email links or anything like that. And then basically, generally speaking, if you'll look over on the left, the navigation area also contains no duplications. It's well ordered. There's no doubling of dividers, duplication of links, or anything like that. And so you'll see that the kind of required top two areas are there. And then underneath you'll see how this class is set up, and it uses weeks. And in the weeks, the navigation links are dated. So that's a nice touch for students there. So the navigation area itself is well prepared and doesn't have any errors or duplications. So then let's take a look at the two items that are really important items to check out when you want to see. They are items that are very, very, very heavily used by students, and they are the calendar and especially the My Grades area. So you want to make sure, click into those and make sure they look like how you would want your students to see them. So in the course calendar, if we click that, you'll see that, okay, this class that we're looking at here is the purple class. And you'll see that for the first week of class, the assignments are all in there. Some due on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Sunday. Week 2's assignments are in there, week 3's, etc. So these are all in there, and I can verify that I've got my dates right. And you may not know that you can actually click on these, and any of these, and they will open up, and you can change the due date from here. Depending on the item type, you may be actually to click into the item from here and edit it if you see any errors and things like that. So you may not know that. These are clickable links in your course calendar. But the main thing is, make sure that the stuff they have to do for week 1 or week 2 or week 3 or however many weeks you have ready are showing on the calendar, because the students will check it, and if it's not there, it causes problems. So that's the My Calendar area. The next area is the My Grades area. This is a super easy way to see what the students see, and by going to this view and seeing what you see, reviewing it, examining it, it can very oftentimes lead you to errors that you may have missed. All right, so what to look for is first, is the layout of the rows, logical? Are things from top to bottom in a meaningful order? Do they show up how you want them to show up? Because students will look and they will kind of expect kind of chronologically from top to bottom. That is how things flow. They don't want, things shouldn't be out of order. So now this view is connected to your Grade Center view. So when you want to adjust this My Grades view, you have to make the changes in the Grade Center. So this view, we've got the total points possible up there at the top, nice and handy, and then it starts in with their assignments. And so for every row, this is a column in your grade book, and you can see the points possible over here. You want to make sure that's accurate. You can see the assignment or column name here. You can see the due date right there. You want to make sure that's accurate. And then this view description is a nice little detail, some extra work on your part, but I think might really impress your students with your attention to detail. So this view description will pop up and will have a description that you provide for the students to see, and also really handy. If you use grading periods, it'll list the grading period right there, and that can be really helpful for if a student misses an assignment, or if a student asks you, which is very common, what have I missed? I've been gone, what have I missed? And maybe it's like, you've missed it, tough luck. But also you can say, yeah, you can turn in late stuff or whatever your policy is, but you can instruct the students to use the My Grades area to do their own research to find out what they missed. And if you use grading periods, the student can easily see, oh, yeah, I don't have a score for this, and if I click on the description, it shows me grading period week 1. That means this assignment was in the week 1 content area, so it can be a very helpful management tool for you and your students. This view description is added in the Grade Center, and so you go to the column in the Grade Center and choose Edit Column Information, and at that point there's a text box for description, and you can add a description which shows up for the student here in the My Grades area. Also, really nicely, you can see a link to your rubrics if you're using them, so the student there can open up the rubric and view it, and you always want to tell them, make sure you view the rubric before you do the assignment, so that's also a nice little touch there. So this can be a really, really powerful interface for you and your students, and all you have to do is go in and make sure it accurately represents what's going on in your class. You can check points over here. You can check, a lot of times you will have hidden a column in your Grade Center from your view, but not from the students inadvertently. It happens all the times, and so you might see a row in here where it's an old assignment and it's not counting anymore towards your class. So this is a really, really helpful view to allow you to organize your class and make sure it's free from errors. And after that, you are into your content areas, whatever they may be, and of course this is just item by item, making sure that the information is correct, making sure it's visible or not depending on your preferences, making sure it's ordered correctly from top to bottom. A relatively new feature is the change due date in the drop-down contextual menu, which is really handy, can save you a few clicks there. You can change due dates for a lot of items this way. One thing I want to point out is that with discussion boards, if you have a link to a discussion board in a content area, you don't set the due dates. This is merely a link to the discussion board. So, and that leads us to our final kind of area to quickly overview to make sure it's ready, and that's your discussions area if you use them. Click in the discussions area, and you want to make sure that forums you want visible are visible, forums that you don't want visible are not visible. And if you want to set and change due dates for discussions, this is where you do it. You don't do it in the content area because that's just a link to this item. You have to change the due date for this item either in the gradebook or here in the item itself. And you can see there's the change due date right there. So that's kind of a quick view of how a course that's pretty darn close to being ready is. So if you have any questions, please contact myself or Felicia and Diana, and we're more than happy to help you get your courses ready for spring. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.